and I'm going to be introducing you to the concepts of the community psychology competencies. This is part of the work of the Society for Community Research and Action, which is Division 27 of the American Psychological Association. And the field of community psychology has practitioners and academics, but unlike other fields like public health, the practitioners don't have designated jobs. You don't apply for a job advertised as a community psychologist. You take your skills and your competencies out into the world and apply them, which required it to be much clearer. We would go to meetings where faculty would say, well, how do you teach people community psychology? Well, we show them the definition and they know what to do. And I said, no, that's not adequate. And so we worked with the Council on Education Programs and the Practice Council together and came up with some core principles, the basic principles, and then we came up with specialized principles. And we published them. We got them approved and widely circulated, got a lot of input, published them as guidelines, as something that would provoke thinking. We got into a number of fights because people thought we were pushing for accreditation, and that's not what we were doing. We were trying to set the tone as to say, well, if we can't define it, it's of no value, so let's define it. And in fact, it led to another publication very similar and parallel called a value proposition that really said, if you're an employer and you hire someone called a community psychologist, what can you expect from that? And so we put that out there. And in fact, at one point, we were hearing so much that people were using it that we put out a call for papers for one issue of the Global Journal of Community Psychology Practice. And instead of a couple of papers, we got 30, of which at least 20 were excellent. So we did 2 issues, one of which Nuria and the folks at Pacifica did, and you'll hear more about that. And then we had lots of others. For example, someone from Georgia State was using the competencies to set the tone for internships that people had. They would say, what competency do I want to learn? And is this a place where I can learn it? So that was the history of it. At one point, we actually got SCRA to support some of us to go to new and evolving programs, and Greg Sarkisian and myself visited Pacifica, and that's where we introduced the competencies. And I must say, of all the programs in the country, Pacifica really took it seriously and has done an amazing job of using the competencies as a basis for doing self-study and self-evaluation and program improvement. And so with that, let me turn it over to Nuria and the seminar that she ran.